To tell us more about Rex Education and to officially open today's event, let us hear from Rex Education's Chief External Affairs Officer, Ms. Danda Cremelda I. Buhay.
Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. With 70 years of service and dedication to education, Rex now evolves from that iconic bookstore that we all know to something bigger and more significant. We are now Rex Education, a brand, a community, and advocacy, a tradition of service dedicated to inspiring every Filipino lifelong learner to advance themselves and uplift others. We have gone from just providing learners with published materials to accompanying them through their lifelong journey. Learning in all forms, beyond the walls of institutions, learning for delight, enlightenment, and fulfillment. True to its tradition of service, Rex Education is guided by the Educampion philosophy, which seeks to rally and empower education duty bearers. An educampion is a champion for education who works with the best interests of the Filipino whole learner in mind. Under this philosophy, Rex Education seeks, among others, to empower duty bearers in the field of education to champion education no matter what the circumstances are. It is true, and because of this, that we are excited to spend the next 2 hours with you as we come together to unveil our newest offering for the Philippine legal community, especially for this year's Bar Takers, Bar Methods and Techniques. Through this book, the author shares her practices and techniques in preparation for the bar examination and tips in answering the bar exam questions, answering the hows and whys behind author success in the 2008 bar exam. The amazing woman behind this book is a professor of law at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, University of the East Manila, San Sebastian Recoletos, and Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila. She is a bar lecturer and the 2008 Bar Topnotcher. In behalf of Rex Education, I would like to congratulate and offer my thanks to Attorney Lardizabal for being one of our partners in championing legal education. We at Rex Education resonate with your goal of helping bar reviewees in the pursuit to become a licensed law practitioner. Once again, good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations, Attorney Judy A. Lardizabal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Danda, for opening today's event. Now, before we open the floor for Attorney Lardizabal, let us hear more about what makes the book an expert guide and resource for the bar reviewees. We are very honored to be joined by another legal expert who can best guide us on how we can use the book for an optimum learning, especially for the upcoming bar examinations. Let us all give a warm welcome to Commissioner Cecilio Ted Villanueva, NLRC Commissioner.
Good afternoon. A pleasant, healthy, and safe afternoon to all of us. Just want to know or check kung okay ba yung video ko. Okay. So, before I make a review of the book, let me just make it known how I was requested, bamboozled, and finally enticed to say some remarks about the author. In this endorsement, I will refer to her as JAL, not Japan Airlines, not joyful, adorable, Lodi, but the Judy A. Lardizabal, aka Jal, but very jolly, for she is indeed very jolly to be with. I have known Jal for so long now, except for her golf, I can vouch for her mastery of legal subjects, her expertise, zeal, and diligence in her law profession. Intentionally, I did not use the word practice. There is a saying that practice makes perfect. For lawyers, especially in Bula law, They are still in practice, but for Jal, she is perfect. Levity aside, it is now a judicial knowledge that she passed the bar exam in 2008. Ako po ay isang saksi, bagamat isang sitting saksi, how this simple, modest, and naive lady from the hinterlands of Timos grew up, changed, blossomed, and metamorphosed from a diamond in the rough into a brilliant gem of a lawyer. It is crystal clear that she now exudes the scintillating, lustrous glow or patina. As I stated, there was an incitement. Now to my book review. I read through the total 68 pages. To start with, many are longing for a picture of the author in the book. In the dedication portion, Jal intimately reveals her affection to her family. Jal would not have touched the bar if not from her Manu, Rebecca. Based on medical science, children inherit their intelligence from their mothers. So belated happy Mother's Day, Mamu Rebecca. And God bless Tatay Deodato, who is watching us from above since 2013. Jal, you need to recognize your millions of fans, supporters, mentors, and tormentors in the dedication portion. No worries, no harm done. We are not insensitive. Now I move on to the nitty-gritty. Let me make it clear that I have no feisty and stinging remarks regarding the content, style, and substance of the book. I just have some few comments, unsolicited of course, but hope Jal will be receptive and forgiving. She really emphasized the importance and requirements of preparation. On page 6, Jal stated that preparation is the key to success. Nothing is further from the truth. She even ended her book on page 68 with the wise words from Miguel de Cervantes. Forewarned, forearmed, to be prepared is half the victory. To ensure the win, let me just add the wise words of Benjamin Franklin. By failing to prepare, we are preparing to fail. Jal pointed out in page 5 that the bar examiners should not be influenced by the personality of the appointed bar exam chair. I totally agree. For this year, Associate Justice Marvin F. Leonen will be the chair. We were dorm mates before in UP Diliman. In fact, when I was the chairman of the Molave Dorm Council, Justice Leonen was my treasurer. Both of us are alumni of the UP School of Economics and the UP College of Law. I am just curious if really the questions are called from the decisions and by the bar exam chair. But it will be to your advantage if you will note landmark decisions and principles of the bar exam chair. I am sure by now you are aware of the equipoise doctrine in labor law as penned by Justice Leonen. Jal also emphasized the value of goal setting. On page 7, Jal wrote, your goal must be clear to get 100% score in all of the 8 bar subjects. That should be the goal. This might appear to be very daunting, but with the right attitude, it is very close to achieving. Make it your goal to take and pass the bar on the first attempt. I have yet to meet a lawyer who wants to take the bar exam again, perhaps to be a bar topnotcher. But for lawyers in Bulalo, I bet they will not. Delikado, baka mawala pa ang license nila. I know Jal will not take it again, as I am sure it is her goal to be a bar topnotcher twice in her lifetime. An ideal environment for review. May I just add strict abstinence on social media. She discussed this not so much in detail in page 18. Shun distractions like YouTube, ML, even Netflix, especially the lengthy movies like Chloe, Bridgerton, or even 365 Days. Instead of Netflix, alam ng mga millennials na mag-take ng bar exams sa taon na to, yung mag-flex na lang sa aral para dehin sakbol sa exam, para dehin din masyuk ang mga airpads and airmats natin. Choose a conducive place for review. No distractions. Pwede na sa small room surrounded by blooming halaman ng mga plantitos and plantitas. Regarding the topic of secure review materials, do not be insecure if your fellow examinees have in their possession what they refer as tips. Those are just fake news, if ever they exist at all. They will just make you sickly and even lead you to the pit of insanity and insecurity. Go back to your personal notes. There is a Latin maxim which I learned during my seminary days and which HDB would validate. The phrase verba volant, scripta manunt. This is a Latin proverb. Literally, it translated, it means spoken words fly away, written words remain. Memorization is good, but after memorizing, endeavor to write on paper what you memorize. In that way, you are doing 200% memorization. While writing, pakisuyo naman na pwede pagandahin nyo yung sulat nyo. Huwag pasaway. For God's sake, you are taking the bar exams, not the board exams for doctors. Second or third reading, why not? But only if you have the luxury of time. Aside from the bar methods of JAL, you can also include in your library one of the sought-after books before. Get hold of this guide, Special Proceedings of Foresight to the Bar Exam by one of the respected legal luminaries, Dean Jenny Lito Prestin. But if you are still in dire straits for review materials, well, you already know the reputable and reliable source of review materials. You need not go far and wide. You will be treated like a king. The store is very accessible even by text. Rhyming, di ba? Moving on forward, JAL's analysis of the bar exam is very comprehensive, thorough, extensive, exhaustive. No gray areas, facts are stipulated, issues are joined, clear conclusions. In answering the questions, there is this technique pala, the 4-paragraph rule. So don't be a fool, just follow the answer tool. Special commendation on JAL's discussion appearing on page 43, pertaining to questions where in fact are lengthy. The discussion and guide advice are insightful. There are irrelevant facts and other irregularities that an examinee needs to ferret out. Surely, you will avoid seeing the forest for the trees. JAL also gave a tip on how to answer questions like compare, distinguish, differentiate. Her tip, KISS. Keep it short and simple on page 46. JAL was very forthright in her discussions on the subject night before the bar exam, day of the bar exam. She mentioned about making calculated guesses. I term it as educated guesses. Yung mali na pero pinipili. So do not leave blank answers or even write prayers or even make pleas in the exam booklet that passing the bar is the last thing to do before dying. Jal is optimistic that there is light after the bar examination. There is a feeling of relief after the grueling exam, but it does not free you from anxiety. So numerous advice on managing fear and anxiety can be found on pages 67 and 68, including surrendering everything to God. So what is the overall impression of the book? Is it packed or is it flat? Packed is the resounding yes, with double thumbs up and with matching Korean heart. Bar methods and techniques is a must purchase. For those dreamers who want to pursue their elusive dreams of becoming a lawyer. For those tenacious fellows who are still clutching at the straw. For those who are still questors and marchers. This is my quest to follow the star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. To be willing to march into hell for that heavenly cause. So please stop singing and concentrate. You do not sound like Luther Vandross. This publication is also a source of inspiration for others. A stockbroker is now contemplating to take up law. An accomplished manager of a fast food chain in Canada is listening. A generous golfer, debonair president of a manning agency, recognizing the brilliancy of the author, has renewed the retainer agreement of the law firm where the author belongs. I commend Rex Bookstore for persuading Attorney Jal to come up with this book. The company seems to have struck gold with this publication, basing on the turnout of the attendees. Not so much with the inevitable platinum record sales, but Rex Bookstore has sustained its mandate in uplifting the levels of education, not only locally, but globally. Personally, I already placed a considerable number of orders for my friends, members of my CF club, students from law school, to empower them, to inspire them, and last but not the least, to direct them to notice that I have a two-page foreword in this book. We will eagerly await the succeeding publications, especially Jal's evaluation of the results of the 2021 bar exam. Let me just caution you that Jal's mastery of the bar exam questions and answers might just catapult her as one of the examiners in the future. Be that as it may, I am wholeheartedly endorsing this legal literary masterpiece. Congratulations, Jal. Thank you so much. Sorry that I ran out of time to make this short. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Villanueva. We are very honored to have you grace this event and guide us through how the book can help and guide us achieve our dream of hurdling the law bar exams. And now, I have the honor to present the amazing woman behind this book, Professor of Law at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, University of the East Manila, San Sebastian College Recoletos, and Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, a bar lecturer, and the 2008 Bar Topnotcher. Friends, join me in welcoming a partner in championing legal education, Attorney Judy A. Lardizabal.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me in this book launch. I would like to thank my students who are now with us. Yeah? My friends, my classmates, of course, my number one fan, my mamu, Commissioner Ted Villanueva, for that very generous critic of my book. Thank you very much. I know that he actually ordered several copies of the book already to be given to his friends. And I also want to I want to welcome everyone, especially students of law and my future colleagues in the legal profession. Thank you very much for your support in joining us in this book launch. By the way, this is my first time to launch a book. Thank you very much, Rex Bookstore, for convincing me to write this book. By the way, the book is thin, so if you don't know how to start your bar review, probably you can start by reading my book. Although the book is entitled Bar Methods and Techniques, it's not really well, the readers, even though you are a law student yet, and it's not about to take the bar examinations, I do suggest that you read this book so that you can plan ahead and prepare, okay, now for the bar examinations. And you can also improve your answers while you're in law school and probably impress your teachers to give you a passing grade. I have a brief presentation as to the contents of my book, although Commissioner Villanueva already summarized most of the points that he found in my book. Yes, ComTed, I know you are looking for my picture. Anyways, maybe in the next publication, I could place my photo at the back cover of the book. Sige. I'll start this brief lecture about bar methods and techniques. So those who are not yet taking the bar examinations, you can still derive something from this as you answer your examinations in law school. Okay? I know a lot of you are thinking or confused or not yet decided on whether you are fit to become a lawyer. Are you ready to take the bar examinations? Are you ready to finish law school? Or are you even ready to enter law school? Okay? So by reading this book, you will get an idea on what to expect before becoming a lawyer. What to expect, how to make it happen. This book can be used as a guide in your study of law and in your preparation for the bar examinations. This book starts with covering the basics. For those who are yet to decide on whether to take up the bar examinations, this book will give you an idea on what to consider in evaluating your preparation or readiness to take up the bar. This book highlighted two basic points. Number one, your knowledge of the law, and number two, your proficiency in the English language. Well, bar exam is a written examination in English. So, kung sasagot ka sa examination na to, you are not allowed to use your local dialect or even the Filipino language. You have to answer in English. So you must be able to communicate your ideas in English, grammatically correct English. So kung may problem ka with your grammar, you better address that first before taking up the bar examinations. Because according to the Supreme Court, a lot of those who failed in the bar examinations failed not because they lacked knowledge of the law, but because they could not communicate their ideas correctly in English. So that's one. And the second basic point to consider is your knowledge of the law. Take note, this is an examination to become a lawyer. So the examiner must be convinced that you already know the law and you can be given the license to practice law. So make sure that you have substantial knowledge of the law. So if you're not yet sure that you've learned enough in law school, or that you delayed taking the bar examinations for a couple of years, maybe you have to give yourself more time to study the law so that before taking the bar examinations, you will be equipped with sufficient knowledge of the law, and you can also communicate your ideas well in the English language. The book also mentioned as that your decision to take the bar examination must be based on your readiness. Okay, it should not be influenced by the personality of the bar chairperson, as mentioned by Commissioner Villanueva. It should not be influenced by the percentage of those who passed the bar examinations in the previous bar. Kasi may mga belief na kung mababa ang passing rate last bar examination, then the following bar examination would yield a higher passing percentage. So dapat when you decide to take up the bar examination, you should not rely on those because sabi nga ni ComTed, those are fake news. So ang pagpasa sa bar examination ay hindi nakadepende doon. Nakadepende yan sa iyo at sa magiging output mo. As I also emphasize in the book that bar examination is not actually a competition among the examinees. You are simply competing with yourself. So give your best. If the examiner is convinced that you know the law and you can communicate your ideas in English, then you will be given a passing grade. Okay? Hindi na iniisip ng mga examiners ano ba yung percentage ng passing rate last year, or the bar chairperson is not the one who will be grading your booklet. So hindi nakadepende rin sa kanya. Okay? Once you've decided to take up the bar examination, this book offers as a guide. Okay, it will guide you on how to start. Okay, how to start your bar exam review? Well, you can start by making your own calendar. I also presented in the book my personal calendar on how I allocated my time during the review, how many days did I have at the time, and so that you will also know if you still have sufficient time to review. Okay? I think you have more than enough time because the bar examination will be given in November. Nung time ko kasi it was given in October. So comparing the number of days, when I started the review, and if you will start the review now, you will have more than ample time to review. Okay. Aside from making your own calendar, you can start by securing review materials. Okay? You can check your available books, yung mga ginamit mo sa law school, what books are updated, what books are outdated, and what books what books are not available and you have to purchase. Hindi naman kailangan i-purchase lahat. So tingnan mo kung ano lang yung kailangan. And if you have redundant materials, get rid of the redundant materials because you cannot read everything. So yung tama lang. Kasi kapag marami kang masyadong materials and you wanted to read everything, you have so little at time, mapu-frustrate ka lang. And this frustration might lead in your lack of confidence because you thought you can read a lot, more than one book in one subject, tapos hindi naman pala kaya ng time. One review book, along with the codal provisions and memory aid would be enough. And do not forget, of course, the number one source of reference would be the syllabus. The syllabus, which is available at the Supreme Court website. That's the first material that you must download because the syllabus will provide you with an outline of the topics covered by the bar examinations. Baka nagbabasa ka, hindi naman pala covered sa bar. So you have always to check the syllabus. Yung syllabus ang una at huli niyong babasahin. Why? Because upon reading everything, you have to check again the syllabus so that tingnan mo kung anong naaalala mo at may naaalala ka ba. So once na binasa mo ang syllabus and you can recall something about those topics, then you are now ready to take the bar examinations. For the review proper, the book emphasized on time management. How to manage your time. The book emphasized that time is limited when it comes to review. review. So, hindi pwedeng pa-banjing-banjing lang. Hindi pwedeng, sige, I'll hold the book now and then I'll finish this anytime, di ba, in the next 2 weeks or in the next 3 weeks. Hindi pwedeng ganon. So, this book emphasized on time management, and I also shared how I manage my time during the review. Lagi akong may alarm clock. And I always make it a point to compute the number of hours that I have in a week. And check as well my reading speed. How fast how many pages can I cover in an hour while reading a specific book? And then after knowing the average number of pages that I can cover in an hour, I could actually compute or approximate the time that I need to spend in order to finish the book. So if you need a guide on how to do that, well, this book provides a guide on how to manage your time during the review proper. Okay. This book also emphasized on focus and commitment. As mentioned by Commissioner Ted a while ago, nakalagay dyan, avoid Netflix. If you can deactivate your Facebook account, better. Or wag mo i-deactivate, but please schedule your time. If you want to log in or check the account or the status of your friends, you have to control, okay, and schedule the same. Hindi pwedeng met-maya. Or ako nung time ko kasi hindi pa kasi uso yung mga Facebook, no? Ang uso ng text messaging. So what I did, I changed my number and I also turned off my phone. Okay? And I gave my number only to limited persons who can contact me whenever there is an emergency or very important matters. Okay? I also scheduled the time when I can go out with family and friends because review is a full-time job. Hindi pwedeng sinisingit-singit mo lang. Kasi ultimately, baka pagdating ng 1 month before the bar examinations, ubos na yung oras mo, wala kang confidence to take it. So, it's too late. As well, also, the book emphasized on commitment. You must always remind yourself on why you want to become a lawyer and how much do you want it. Hindi pwedeng napipilitan lang. Because this really requires giving your best and giving your all, giving your 100%. Magiging anti-social ka, pagsesalosan yung pag-aaral mo ng mga loved ones mo, and this would be asking much from you. So, dapat maging committed ka dyan because, kapag naipasa mo naman yan, yung fruit ng iyong preparation at yung mga sacrifices is worth it. How did I make it to the top, or how did I land in number 1? Well, I had 100% as my goal. Although, in order to pass the bar examination, you only need 75%. And there were also bar examinations where the Supreme Court lowered the passing rate from 75 to 70, 72, 73, and 74. Okay, your aim must be 100. Kasi kung 100 ang aim mo, mamiss mo man yung 100, hindi malayo. Aim always for 100. Well, there is a move na wala na yung numerical rating, pass or fail na lang, but I think in grading your examinations, there will still be numerical rating, but the result will be pass or fail. Kasi how can they do that without numerical rating? Dahil makakaiba ang weight na binibigay sa bawat subjects. So always aim for 100%. If you missed 100%, okay lang. You will still land among the stars. Shoot for the moon. If in case you miss, you will still land among the stars. Kasi kung 75% lang yung aim mo, mamiss mo yan, magpipray tayo na babaan ng passing percentage. Always aim for 100%. Your answers must be responsive. It must be based on the given facts and always supported by legal basis. Now, you can find in the book some of my answers to the bar examinations. You will see the strengths of my answers and even the weaknesses of my answers. Pati mga imperfections nandoon. I want to to emphasize that topping the bar examination is not actually tawag doon, reserved for valedictorians, or reserved for somebody who is the brightest among all of the examinees. Hindi naman. Okay? So even an ordinary law student, I was a working student, I was able to top the bar examinations. And my answers are not really that excellent, no? So normal lang, okay? But all of those answers are complete. Why? Because the answers are responsive to the question. Kung anong tinatanong, yun ang sinagot. The answers are based on the given facts. So ibig sabihin, yung facts hindi ko binago. I responded to the facts as presented in the question, and it is always supported by legal basis. Hindi nawawala yung legal basis because legal basis is the heart of your answers in the bar examination. Bakit siya heart? Heart kasi yun ang puso ng sagot mo dahil this is a test of your knowledge of the law. You wanted to become a lawyer, so you must showcase your knowledge of the law. Kung walang legal basis ang sagot mo, walang puso ang sagot mo, walang buhay yan. Okay? You cannot expect a full credit for your answer. Okay? So there are certain forms na sinusunod. Okay? So I also presented in my book yung typical 4-paragraph rule, otherwise known as RELAC, reply, the legal basis, the application of the legal basis, and the conclusion. They also, some review centers call it ALAC, the answer, legal basis, application, and conclusion. Okay? So whether you use the 4 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs, okay lang yan. Whether 3, 2, 1, okay? Ideally 4. Okay? But if you don't have enough time, pwede namang isa lang. Or in case 1% lang ang weight ng question na yan, you don't need to spend time composing an answer consisting of 4 paragraphs. By the way, when you say paragraphs, it could only be a sentence. Yeah? So be flexible in composing your answers. Hindi porket sinasabi natin na ideal ang 4 paragraph, lagi na kayo magpo-4 paragraph. There are certain questions that cannot be answered using the 4 paragraph rule. So you can find those examples in my book. This is one example that you can find there. This is a question that you can that I included in the book. This is a question in civil law. The first question in civil law regarding Ana Rivera na yung husband niya sumakay sa plane, nag-crash sa plane, yung plane 10 years ago in the Atlantic Ocean. Tapos naniniwala na siya napatay na yung asawa niya. She then married Adolf Cruz, a German national residing in Stuttgart with a Filipino mother and a German father. So instead of securing, para hindi na kumuha ng certificate of capacity to marry from the German embassy, they indicated in the application for marriage license that Adolf is a Filipino national. So they got married in a ceremony officiated by a parish priest in Calamba, somewhere in the beach of Nasugbu, because the priest of Calamba does not want to officiate the wedding outside of the church. Okay? So ang question is the marriage valid? Explain fully. Under the 4-paragraph rule, the first paragraph must be a response to the question. So paano mo i-compose yung first paragraph? Okay? So anong question? Is the marriage valid? Explain fully. So the first sentence or the first paragraph must be a response to the question, is the marriage valid? Okay. The second paragraph in the 4-paragraph rule is your legal basis. Laging nakapresent na dapat yan sa simula. Why? This is an examination in order to test your knowledge of the law. So wag mo nang itago somewhere in the middle or at the last part of your answer. Ilagay mo na sa unahan. Okay, after your response to the question, provide your legal basis para alam na ng examiner, eto, may alam to sa batas. This is my knowledge of the law, your honors. Okay, so after presenting your knowledge of the law, you can apply the law to the given facts. Hindi naman kailangan mag-compose kayo ng pagkahaba-haba. Ang application of the law to the given facts is a sentence where you will mention a relevant fact. Ano bang relevant sa kasong yan na pinipresent? that led you in composing or presenting an answer based on that legal basis. And your last part would be a conclusion. Your conclusion is simply a reiteration of your first sentence. Kung sinabi mong valid yung marriage, pwede kang mag-conclude, hence the marriage is valid. Kung sinabi mong void yung marriage, pwede kang mag-conclude na hence the marriage is void from the very beginning. Okay, the conclusion is not so important. Pwede namang mawala yung conclusion. You don't need it. Kompleto ang answer mo for as long as nag-respond ka sa question, may legal basis ka at nag-mention ka ng relevant fact. Kompleto na yung sagot mo. But if you want to further impress the examiner, you can add a conclusion. When I took the bar, I've added conclusion kung sa tingin ko maikli pa yung sagot ko. But conclusion is not essential. It's not an essential element of your answer. Okay, you can find sample answers in the book. I have included more. So, ito yung sagot dyan. Okay, this is the answer. If you will notice, the first sentence is a response to the question, is the marriage valid? So I simply responded with a sentence, no, the marriage is not valid. So ganun kasimple. Why? Para makita na examiner na responsive ka sa tanong. Naintindihan mo yung tanong, kaya sinagot mo. Direct. Direct response to the question. And then my second sentence or second paragraph is the legal basis. If you will notice, in citing the legal basis, I did not mention an article number. I did not also mention under the family code. I simply mentioned under the law. So I presented as well the legal basis using my own words. Hindi naman ako nag-quote-unquote dyan. I did not even cite the law verbatim. I did not exactly use the wordings of the law. But I conveyed or mentioned a legal basis using my own words. This is actually Article 41 of the Family Code. That in order to contract a subsequent marriage because of presumptive death of a prior spouse, there must be a petition for that purpose. But I use my own words. Hindi ko ginamit yung exact wordings of Article 41. But it is a precise and accurate legal basis. And then, I followed it with an application or a mention of relevant fact in the case. So, anong relevant fact sa case? She married, while the first marriage is subsisting. She entered into a subsequent marriage while the first marriage is subsisting. As you'll also notice, I did not mention the other irrelevant facts. Irrelevant yung officiating yung minister or yung priest, hindi relevant yun. Hindi relevant na sa Batangas sila. Hindi relevant yung marriage license nila. Hindi relevant yung nationality nung second husband. Ang relevant, nagpakasal siya while the first marriage is subsisting at hindi siya nag-file ng petition for declaration of presumptive death. This is my answer to that question in the bar examination. So mapapansin nyo, hindi naman siya gaano kahaba. Okay, I was able to complete the answer in simply using 3 sentences. So when we say paragraph, hindi naman kailangan consisting of 2 or more sentences. It could be 1 sentence with complete thought. Okay? So as to how to present answers in the bar examinations, well, there are several examples that you can find in the book. Okay. So I also emphasize the need to answer all. Kahit napakahirap ng question or kahit hindi mo alam ang sagot, sagutin mo pa rin. Sabi nga ni Comted, educated guess. Educated guess. I also showed there one answer where I had no idea as to the correct answer. So I guessed. It was an educated guess because I used terminologies under political law. Kaya mukha pa rin siyang educated guess, although it's really wrong. But it's better to submit an educated guess than just submit with that question left unanswered. Because if you did not even offer an answer, the impression that it will create to the examiner is not good. Ang dating nun, you cannot argue, you cannot justify your answer. Siyempre, very important to become a lawyer is the ability to argue your case. Okay. And lastly, after taking the bar examinations, you've done your part. After preparing and taking the bar examinations, you've done your part. Napakahirap nun. Eh. So, kapag natapos yung first Sunday, huwag mo nang pakialaman yan. Move on to the next. And after finishing all of the examinations on the fourth Sunday, pray and let God handle the rest. Kasi wala na yan sa control mo. It's no longer within your control. You have done your part. Whatever happens, so bahala na si Lord. Yun sinasabing bahala na si Lord. Pero before matapos yung examination, gawin mo yung part mo. Yung bahala na si Lord after the 4 Sundays of the bar. So all that you can do after the 4 Sundays is just pray and let God handle the rest. If it's your time to become a lawyer, then you will have it. If you prepared well and gave your best and the examiners were impressed, then you will have it. I for once, I also just lifted everything to God. Whatever happens, basta I did my best. Kung ano mangyayari, saka ko naisipin yun after the 4 Sundays. Okay, after the 4 Sundays, my book also presented life after the bar examinations and how to handle the stress of waiting for the result of the bar examinations. Okay, so I also presented there, aside from my answers, the scores that I received in the bar examination in order to give you an idea that this course, like 82 in political law, 86 in labor law, 90 in civil law, 81 in criminal law, 86 in mercantile law, 85 in taxation, 87 in remedial law, and 88 in legal ethics and practical exercises, these grades are not impossible to achieve. Even my simple answers to the bar examinations, even with the imperfections in my answers, the examiners were still convinced that I deserve these grades that I got. And these grades actually made me the number 1 in the 2008 bar examinations. So hopefully by showing you my preparation, my answers to the bar examinations, and how I manage my time, you will be properly guided on what to do, and how to be you. Okay? And also, you'll be convinced that you can also do the same. You can get grades like this. You can also become a lawyer like me. Okay? So, don't worry, you got this. So hopefully, after reading my book, okay, you can also give this to your friends, your loved ones. You'll have this feeling of being guided, and it's actually the objective or the goal of this book is to become part of everyone's in the achievement of every aspiring lawyer's dream of becoming a lawyer. So hopefully with this book, makapag-assist, okay, you'll be guided and you'll be convinced that getting the title of an attorney is not impossible. Okay. That ends my lecture. And hopefully, you'll find time. And hindi naman kamahalan ang libro na ito. This is only worth 250. It's a good gift for your friends who are now studying law and those who are preparing for the bar examinations. You can start your review by reading this book, and hopefully, from my experience, you'll get inspired to study and give your best. And hopefully these bar examinations, if you've decided to take it now, we will see your name among the list of passers in the 2021 bar examinations.
Thank you very much for the very rich presentation, Attorney Lardizabal. We are very honored to receive such expert guidance, especially at a time when the review for the bar has become more challenging. In behalf of Rex Education, allow me to congratulate you on yet another feather in your cap with the release of this book. We look forward to learning more from you through your books and lectures. Congratulations, attorney, and here's to more years of working together as stewards of legal education. All right, now let us all listen to another legal expert evaluation of the book. Let us all give a warm welcome to Dean Jemmy Lito Festin, Dean PUP College of Law.
Good day, everyone. First of all, it is with much pride and honor to congratulate Professor Judy Lardizabal for finally coming up with a book entitled Bar Methods and Techniques. Given that she is busy teaching in various law schools and in the active practice of law, it took much prodding to convince her to write about something which would help those preparing for the bar examinations. I have known the author for more than a decade. As a professor in a law school where I previously taught, we rejoiced together with the other faculty members when she became the Bar Topnotcher in the 2008 bar examinations, placing number one among all bar examinees. And right after taking her oath as a lawyer, she became a colleague in the Law Academy. Eventually, I invited her to be part of the faculty in our beloved law school, the Polytechnic University of the Philippines College of Law, where she teaches civil law subjects, fourth-year civil law review subjects. She is also a special lecturer, a coach or mentor in our PUP Review Center, specializing in the bar review technique. Yet, success never came out easy to her. And while in law school, she was also working at the same time, just so she can pay for her tuition fees and books. She travels to work, attends her classes in Manila, and then goes back to Cavite. These sacrifices she did consistently for 4 years. And like any other law student, she also had friends, a support group where they drew strength from each other and find comfort as well in each other's company. Obviously, if there is any person who has the authority, the knowledge, expertise, and experience on the subject matter, it is this author. Her thoughts and insights, culled from being a law student, bar reviewee, law professor, bar reviewer, and mentor, are invaluable indeed. In this book, the author, speaking from her heart, has generously shared how she prepared for the bar examinations and her manner of answering bar questions, and how she managed to survive that stressful months awaiting for the result of the exams. Her book also serves as a humble reminder to every aspiring lawyer that the bar examinations can actually be surpassed. It is also evident that the book reflected the author's teaching style, that is, logical, detail-oriented, and grounded. With the publication of this book, many law students and bar candidates will be inspired as they walk through their own paths in becoming lawyers. Allow me to quote what Albert Einstein, widely acknowledged to be one of the greatest physicists of all time, described what insanity is all about. He said, "Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results." In our quest to attain our dream, we commit mistakes and imperfections. At times we misperceive, misapprehend, miscalculate, and we suffer the consequences of our action. But we stand up, move on knowing that through perseverance, we will make it this time. But this chance cannot be wasted, and we must avoid repeating the same mistakes over again. While reading this book, it will help you realize what went wrong, illuminate you on how not to commit the same mistakes, and give you best ideas on how to prepare for the bar examinations. Lastly, let me share to you the importance of faith based on the Holy Scripture in our journey of life. Faith is the substance of things we hope for, the evidence of things not yet seen. I pose this question: how do you know you will become a lawyer? It is not based on a wishful thinking or merely a wish upon a star. It is based on faith. It is not an empty word, but it is the substance and the evidence of who you will become in not so distant future as the Lord directs our path. Faith and hard work coupled with sound wisdom obtained from the author of this book will bring you to places you have not been before and finally achieve what seems to be an elusive dream: to become a member of the noblest profession. Again, my heartfelt congratulations to Attorney Judy Lardizabal as part of PUP College of Law. Family, we are so proud of you.
Thank you so much, Dean Festin. At this point, let us hear more about how the works of Attorney Lardizabal plays a significant role in shaping our young lawyers and aspiring lawyers today. Let us all give a warm welcome to Associate Dean Christian Villasis, founder and director of Villasis Law Center.
Good day, everyone. Passing the bar is more than taking an examination to be a lawyer. It's not only about what you know. It is an art, my friends. Passing the bar requires a combination and mixture of unwavering commitment to excellence, steadfast will, undying passion, determination, and of course, composure. It is a test of patience and grit, of character and disposition, revealing you at your worst and of course rewarding you at your best. It is seizing a chance to practice a lifelong profession, a chance to be part of being something bigger than yourself, becoming a lawyer. In other words, hurdling the bar examination is a momentous task of great difficulty, often requiring a firm guidepost to assist you in your travel. This book is one such art, a craft of momentous value. The book of Attorney Judy A. Lardizabal, my friends. Who else then would be a better author on bar methods and techniques than a law professor, a noted bar lecturer, an experienced litigator who not only passed the 2008 bar examination, but even topped the same. Attorney Judy A. Lardizabal has been our trusted bar reviewer in Villasis Law Center through the years. She has handled yearly lectures on bar review methods and techniques, and of course, civil law subjects to all our dear VLC warriors who aspire to be part of the legal profession. Since 2015 and until the present, our roster of VLC Bar Topnotchers and warriors attended her lectures and applied their learnings when they took the bar examination. And I'm proud to say now that these VLC warriors are now respected members of the legal profession, occupying crucial positions both in the public and private sectors. The book of Attorney Judy Lardizabal, titled Bar Methods and Techniques, is a culmination of the necessary tools and decades of experience to ensure that you have at your arsenal the best guide in taking the bar examinations. It is a combination, it is a codification of Attorney Judy's lifelong teachings and personal experiences. You are sure to slay the bar examinations with their war strategies. Proven well and tested by time, her jotted nuggets of wisdom will certainly assist law students and bar examiners alike in mapping out the key areas and competencies they would have to focus on to maximize their chances of passing the bar examination. Any bar examinee looking into duplicating her feat are well advised to read her book thoroughly. At this point, we share great honor and pride with attorney Judy A. Lardizabal as she releases this much needed book, my friends, her masterpiece, mga kaibigan. So once again, congratulations, Attorney Judy. A timeless masterpiece of our dear friend and colleague. By the way, since its inception, VLC's war cry has been, "We will top the bar exam." And this book of Attorney Judy will certainly guide and help you how to make it happen. How to make your dreams a reality, my friends. Remember, just aim high and soar high. Always give your best in everything that you do. After all, the best way for us to predict our future is to create it. Can we top the bar examination? Can we do it? Of course, my friends, certainly. Absolutely. Attorney Judy did it, so you can also do it. Because after all, remember, what your minds can perceive can always be achieved. Read her book, her masterpiece, and certainly you can make it happen. As we all say, my friends, together we can. I'm Attorney Christian G. Villasis, the Bar Review Director of Village Law Center. We're very proud of you, Attorney Judy. Congratulations, mabuhay ka. Together we can.
Thank you for all these kind words. Hearing your praises of the book gives us utmost pride for having been chosen and entrusted with the publication of this masterpiece. In the same vein, allow us to express our gratitude to you as well for being stewards of legal education and of law practice yourselves. Now we're opening the floor for the question and answer with our author, Attorney Lardizabal. Feel free to comment your questions below. We'll be selecting 3 questions from the comments, and as we move forward, I will be reading the questions in your behalf, Attorney. All right, so do we have any questions from our audience? Feel free to comment your questions below. Once again, we will be selecting 3 questions from the comments. Any questions from our audience? Once again, we're now opening the floor for the question and answer with our author, with Attorney Lardizabal. So feel free to comment your questions below. If you have any questions or any clarifications, we will be selecting 3 questions from the comments. Okay, so first question, Attorney, from Mr. Carlo Concubierta. Did you have any ritual when preparing for the exam day itself?
Okay, on the day of the examination, as the ritual, basically wake up at as early as 4 a.m. Because of the need to be at the site of the examination earlier than others, and also to avoid yung traffic and siksikan. Mas magandang well-rested na at the examination room. So I believe even though this is a computerized examination, it will still be an on-site examination. So wake up at 4 o'clock, as early as 4 o'clock, then take breakfast. Light breakfast will do kasi ayaw din natin masira yung tiyan natin during the examinations. Siyempre, while waiting for the exams, you always pray and avoid entertaining doubts. So wake up at 4, take the breakfast, go to the examination room as early as possible, stay there. You can check, I do check my notes while waiting, and I also used my time to pray. I also avoided entertaining yung mga doubts kasi yung first Sunday medyo difficult because it's your first time to take the bar examination. So medyo na-distract pa ako dun sa mga nakapaligid sa akin who were wearing, jackets of prestigious law schools. So I try to focus my attention on what I'm reading and the fact that I've prepared enough for the bar examinations, and I also prayed to God that I'll be given clear mind, guidance, and hopefully I could recall what I've studied and learned, and hopefully the questions that will be asked in the bar examinations are the same items that I've covered during the review. So as a ritual, yun yung ginagawa ko. Wake up as early as 4, take breakfast, then go straight to the examination room and just spend time feeling your seat and feeling as well the environment so that hindi ka na mahihirapan or masistress pa.
Thank you very much for that, attorney. Okay, for our second question, we have from Del Piol Salazar. How to answer objective type question?
Okay, objective type question. So basically, it is not a question that would require you to compose your answers using the 4-paragraph or 3-paragraph rule. So depende sa weight, no? Kung ang weight niya na nakalagay dyan is 5%, I don't think a 1-sentence answer will do. So kung 1% lang yan, just answer. Kung ang question is specifically asking for you to define or give, explain a certain concept, you just explain it in 1 sentence. Or kung objective is hindi na kasi multiple choice type question. So basically, if you're asked to define, just define it in 1 sentence. If you need to explain it further, sometimes there are objective type questions na isang question pero nanganganak ng dalawa or may sub-questions. So you just make sure that you will be able to answer the questions asked. Kasi minsan isa lang yung isang item but there are 2 or more questions there. So make sure that you will be able to respond to those questions. Wala namang requirement as to the length. Sometimes you should decide as to how long your answer will be depending upon the weight allocated. So kung 1% lang yan, a 1-sentence answer will do for as long as you have responded to the question. If the question is an objective type that calls for a further explanation of the terminology or of the concept, then you better compose your answer with 2 sentences or 3 sentences.
Thank you, attorney. For our next question, from Ariana Quinto. Hi, attorney. Since you've got 90% in civil law, what particular coverage in the said bar subject you find most difficult?
So in civil law, so what particular topic in civil law that I find most difficult? Natama yun yung question, no? I had difficulty answering questions in property. Okay, I think I have also shared one question or 2 in civil law. Okay, so I had difficulty answering questions in property. Because it was my Waterloo when I was in law school. So yun din. As far as I can recall, it was property.
Thank you, attorney. We have some more questions. From Lyric Sotnas Olosno. What inspires you to make this magnum opus? What are the challenges that you face before, during, before, during, and after taking the bar exam, and how you overcome it?
Well, the inspiration, well, I think my students inspired me to write this book. I've been attending lectures and giving lectures to several review centers, and even after the lectures, aspiring lawyers would approach me and ask me about what to do, how to start, how to be you. So I think this answers their questions. So this book was inspired by them. As to the challenges I faced, actually lahat naman tayo may challenges, iba-iba lang, no? Iba-iba lang. It could be a challenge in family, a challenge in relationship. While preparing for the bar, during the bar, after the bar, syempre, number one challenge is financial because I left my work, so I have to rely financially sa kapatid ko, sa parents ko. So that was one. I try to overcome that because syempre, you have to plan ahead. You know that you will not have source of income during that time. So dapat kinontak mo na sila and you will be relying on them for support. Okay? And during the bar, difficulty is trying to cover everything. Kaya I adjusted. I really focused on reading and I maximized the use of time. So hindi talaga ako nag-aksaya ng panahon. As much as possible, hanggat may hour left in the day that I could spend reading, I will make use of that time reading instead of spending it watching TV. So talagang naging disciplined ako during the review period because I know given the numerous books that I have to cover, time is very limited. After taking the bar exam, the challenge is to handle stress. I think everyone who took the bar examination, and for those who will be taking the bar examination, the difficulty of handling stress, waiting for the result, and planning for whatever eventuality, diba? Kasi we don't know. It's already beyond our control. So that's I think I devoted a discussion on that, how to manage stress, your life after the bar examinations, and having a plan B. Because hindi dapat nagtatapos doon lang. So kung makuha natin yan, we pass the bar examination, then that's good. But there's a possibility that we'll fail, di ba? It's a possibility that you can think of after the bar. Huwag niyo iisipin yun while preparing for the bar. It will not do good for you. Because if you are always thinking of possibility to fail the bar examination, maapektuhan din yung quality ng answers nyo while taking the bar. Dapat habang nagtitake kayo ng bar examination, ang pakiramdam nyo, lawyer na kayo. You must have that confidence of a lawyer. You must answer like a lawyer. You're not taking the examination as a law student. You are taking it as a lawyer, and the examiner will feel, okay, after reading your booklet or after reading your answers, that this examinee deserves that title of an attorney.
Thank you for that, attorney. And for our last question from Sansu Eduyan, what is your advice in answering a true or false question? I get so confused because there is no single rule in law without exceptions. I feel that all the questions are false because there's always an exception. Thanks and congrats, dear professor.
Okay. If you're asked, well, kung very strict in yung instruction that you can only provide true or false, and you think there's a qualification, then you can answer either true or false, then support your answer with your legal basis and provide for a qualification or exception. Ang sa akin lang kasi, kung hindi naman strictly that you can, but if you can answer with a qualification, you don't have to state it's true or it's false. You can start with the answer to this question could either be true or false. Okay? It is true for the following reason. It is false for the following reasons. Okay? So, sa examination naman, kaya nga essay yan, wala naman talagang yung, the examiners will grade your answers depending upon your knowledge of the law and how you presented it. So kung sinabi mong true and you were able to support that answer with a legal basis, and you think there's a need to provide for an exception because the question calls for the presentation of an exception, then that's okay. Pero kung hindi naman yun ang hinihingi ng question, specifically if the question provided for certain facts, and these certain facts would call for an answer, a categorical answer of true or false, dahil hindi naman relevant yung exceptions, then you must answer as responding to what is being asked. So, hindi mo na kailangan i-discuss yung exceptions kung hindi naman patungkol sa exception yung nakalagay doon sa question. So, just respond to the question, just respond to what is being asked. So, kung ano yung issue ng question, yun lang yung sagutin. If the issue calls for the application of an exception to the rule, and the question is whether the statement is true or false, then you can categorically respond that it is false or it is true. So, depende doon sa facts of the case. So, hindi naman kailangan i-present lahat yan if not being, if the question does not call for the presentation of all of the exceptions.
All right, thank you very much for answering the questions, Attorney Judy. And I believe that's the end of our question and answer portion with Attorney Lardizabal. And once again, Attorney, congratulations. And is there anything else you want to say before we close the program?
Thank you, Rex Bookstore, for doing this. I know well, when we discussed about this, it also took me time, no, before I was able to submit and comply with the requirements. At least after several months, it's now here, and hopefully we can assist those who are aspiring to become lawyers this 2021 bar examinations in their preparation, and we can contribute well in their achievement of their dreams of becoming a lawyer. Again, to my students and to all aspiring lawyers, I highly recommend this book. And sinabi na ni Commissioner Ted Villanueva ang kanyang critique. So, and thank you as well, Dean Festin, for sharing your thoughts about my book, and Associate Dean Virasis for your generous comments about my book. And I think that will be all, and I thank everyone for joining us in this book launch. Hopefully in the future book launch, if ever Rex will again ask me to write something about probably civil law or about an update on bar methods, you can again join us in the next book launch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Attorney. All right, and now we will listen to Rex Education's General Manager for CLV Law, Mr. Reginald Soriano, for his word of thanks.
Thank you. A pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you. Commissioner Ted Villanueva, Dean Festin, distinguished guests, faculty, law students, and most importantly, Attorney Judy Lardizabal. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. First and foremost, allow me to thank each and every one of you for being able to attend to this wonderful seminar, a wonderful webinar that we have right now. It is truly an honor that we are here and we are able to serve you. I know that despite the pandemic, despite all the challenges, we're still able to find ourselves in this situation where we're sharing knowledge and we're helping one another. Attorney Judy, maraming salamat po, and we are so grateful that you're part of the Rex family. Thank you. We enjoy and love the partnership po. Yes, we hear you, and we look forward to future projects po with you. Attorney Judy and everybody, as I do the closing remarks, I'd like to share with you a personal experience that I've had, in terms of something that I've related this. Nakwento po sa akin to ng aking friend, a dear friend of mine who I met a long time ago. He actually is one of those that actually aspired to climb Mount Everest. Mark Seymour was a good friend of mine, and in the conversations I've had with him when he was here, and I also met him a few times outside of the country. The thing that I would like to relate in this I guess special book that Attorney Judy has made was that he wanted to climb Mount Everest because he wanted to belong to that elite group of those who can claim I climbed Mount Everest. I am one of those few that can say I've done this. I've summited the highest or tallest mountain in the world. That is what our bar lawyers, our bar examinees and lawyers do. You are summiting what is, for what I could only imagine for somebody like me who is a lay learner, one of the most prestigious and most, I think, most it's been called as one of the hardest exams to be taken, not only in the Philippines but around the world, a benchmark, a gold standard. So yes, it's great. It's something to aspire for, to belong to that very elite club of those who have passed the bar exams. But one thing he also mentioned in his conversations with me was the fact that to help them as climbers, they had to depend on Sherpas, those humble yet very sturdy people who have been climbing Mount Everest, who've been there to support them. They're the ones who enable them to summit. They're the ones who are the true heroes, as he has said and called them. This is exactly what Attorney Judy and all our law authors have done. They're enabling you, each and every learner, to be able to summit that mountain, to be able to pass. This is what Rex Education stands for, my dear friends, my dear colleagues, and my dear law learners. We want to enable you. We want to help you. We want to be there to ensure that you can enable yourself, achieve your dreams so that we can all be productive members of society. Para sa bata, para sa mamamayan, para sa bayan. So with that, again, Attorney Judy, with all love and gratitude, thank you so much for being part of the family. Thank you for your book, and we look forward to other future projects po. And to each and every one of you, stay safe, God bless, and thank you for being part of this set. Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Sir Reggie. On that note, we have come to the end of this afternoon's program. Indeed, it was a very productive learning afternoon with our legal luminary, Attorney Judy Lardizabal, and our distinguished guests from the field of law. In behalf of Rex Education, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for having been chosen as your partner in legal education. We look forward to more years of our fruitful partnership as we continue to work together to enable law students and lawyers achieve their dreams of becoming lawyers and excelling as one. To everyone who joined us this afternoon, thank you for learning with us and for choosing Rex to be your partner in learning. See you on our next book launch and lecture. Thank you and keep soaring, Educampions.